1977, George Lucas formed a legacy.
Force is with me, and I am with the Force.
Inspired by mythology, his saga has become a passion for many.
Feel the Force around you.
His legend has become our story.
It's true. All
one of resistance.
we are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down.
Rebellion.
Rebellion is built on hope.
And redemption.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is Star Wars Reactions.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Well, happy Halloween, everybody. That's right. It is Halloween. It is episode 64 of Star Wars Reactions. Surprise! It's a bonus episode. We are going to have some fun today. I hope you're having fun. So let's get this going. My name is Aaron Harrison. Joining me he is the Savage Opress to my Darth Maul. He is the David Motters. David, brother, what's up, my friend?
That is the perfect example, comparison for spooky Halloween to the spookiest guys in all of Star Wars. Doing good. Happy Halloween to everybody. And Aaron and I, like you said, we wanted to surprise everybody with a little extra bonus episode this week. And so, yeah, happy Halloween. Ready to react and ready to have some fun with this new Lego special.
Absolutely. That's right. For our Halloween special, we are going to be looking at the brand new Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales show. This, of course, has been out for a little while on Disney Plus. It was released October 1st. And I'm just really looking forward to digging into this because I thoroughly enjoyed this special that they released. This, of course, was written by David Shane and Ken Cunningham, and is just a whole bunch of just wholesome fun. I mean, basically, what happens in this, Poe Dameron, the second best pilot in the whole galaxy, depending on who you ask, crash lands on Mustafar and finds himself in 3 different spooky tales shared by Vanier, who is the aide to the late Darth Vader. And of course served him in his castle for years after his defeat of Obi-Wan Kenobi at the end of episode 3. Vanier has a secret plan to be feared like Vader and the Emperor in years past. Dun dun dun. Spooky. Waka waka. Had to throw that in there just to break the mood. I don't even know why I even said waka waka. You know why? It's because I'm excited about my dad joke of the week.
Jeez.
I am so excited about my dad joke of the week. I'm already pulling my Fozzie Bear out. So prepare your digital tomatoes, folks. It's a coming.
I've got one ready, buddy. I got a whole case.
Good. I'll take them. All right. So, David, what did you think when you sat down and watched Terrifying Tales for the first time?
Oh, man. Once again, I'm so glad that Lego and Star Wars, they came together again, for a fun, lighthearted special like last year's Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. I absolutely 100% hope they continue to make these because they are just fun. They're quick. They're fun. I love them. I dig this. I get a kick out of them. I love the like I said, speaking of fun, Dana Snyder as Graballa the Hutt. Oh my gosh. Love him as Graballa the Hutt, and did in some of the episodes of Freemakers, the other Lego animated show, Star Wars show. I enjoyed Tony Hale as Vinay, and it was fun because I've done a second and a third watch, and it's really helped me pick up on some of the quick jokes that I didn't get before. In the third one, I really had to stop and slow down because I wanted to hear the Maul's dad jokes, aka Aaron's jokes. So we'll talk about those more in a bit. But total dad jokes in this, and Aaron has been having a field day with dad jokes, and here this special does 3 in a row really fast by the great Sam Witwer. But very simply, I recommend this highly to families.
Absolutely. I can't agree with you more. It's definitely a family event that you need to take advantage of. This was a ton of fun. I've always been very hesitant of stories that are not canon and don't advance the story in any way or the overall narrative. And this absolutely is not canon. It absolutely advances the story in the canon story in any way whatsoever. But it's done in such a lighthearted and fun way. It's very easy to let go and not get tied up in, is it canon, is it not canon? You just automatically know it's not, and you get a good laugh out of it. I love that. These Lego specials are so comical. They so take themselves so unserious. It's great. The way they did this too, the way they broke it up with the Poe Dameron going through on this, getting to Mustafar and then meeting up with everybody, and all of a sudden these 3 stories being told by Vanier, to me, took me right back to my favorite Halloween specials of all time, the Treehouse of Terror episodes of The Simpsons. I love those. I literally, all I've been doing this month when I've had free time, which I haven't had a lot, is I'll pull up a Treehouse of Terror and watch it just to get a good laugh, because they're great. They're hysterical. And this was set up in that similar vibe where you have an underlying story going on, but then you have these 3 side stories going. And the Treehouse of Terror always has those 3 stories they tell. I love it. I don't know if they did that just because, Disney now owns The Simpsons. I don't know, but it worked. It worked perfectly. I loved it. The return of Grabala the Hutt, man. Oh my gosh. I tell you, that is one Hutt that cracks me up. I most of the time I don't care the Hutts. I could care less about them, but this one.
Apologies. I couldn't hear what you said.
I'm sorry. Siri thought I was talking to her. And yes, my Siri does have an Australian accent because I thought it would be fun. Anyway.
No, like you said, Grabala, it's just, this character is a great character.
Absolutely. Sorry, Siri completely threw me off my game just then. But yeah, Grabala was awesome. And the fact that they have Grabala on Mustafar remodeling Vader's castle into a hotel resort. I mean, come on, man. That was just perfect. It fit Grabala's character. And of course, to me, it almost felt they were slightly poking fun of, honestly, from a distance, kind of poking a little bit at Disney for turning everything into a Star Wars related theme over there. And it's great. I loved it. You have the animatronic Darth Vader directing people to the dark side gift shop. Come on. It was awesome. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. And this will be something that I will be adding to my Halloween list of shows to watch each year. So a lot of fun. All right. Well, let's go ahead and go into some of the talking points here. And like I mentioned, I loved how they turned this, did something similar to the Treehouse of Terror with the 3 stories. The first one was called The Lost Boy. The second one, The Dueling Monstrosities. And last but not least, The Wookies Paw. I got to know, David, of these three stories, which one did you enjoy the most?
Well, I was going to say The Lost Boy because it takes me back to the 80s, and that's when I came up. But I'm telling you that it might be the Dueling Monstrosities because I love Maul. I love Grievous. I love the voice actors, Sam Witwer and Matthew Wood, and the dad jokes. And that might push it over The Lost Boy. So I'm going to go with the Dueling Monstrosities.
Okay. Very good. Very good. That I loved that one. Dueling Monstrosities was great just because of the dad jokes. Those, that one I laughed my tail off. But honestly, I liked the Wookies Paws the best.
Oh,
that was my favorite. To me, we just came off of, off of the Marvel What If series with all the what if things were different in Marvel. What if Captain America wasn't Captain America, it was Captain Carter instead. Just stuff like that. What if T'Challa was Star-Lord instead of, Peter Quill? Just things like that. And it was an interesting series. And this is, to me, that particular story, the Wookiees Paw, to me felt like a Star Wars version of What If. What if Luke had joined the Empire instead of the Rebellion? And I liked it. It was fun. It was hilarious at the same time. And I just got a kick out of it. That's why, that's just why I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially that 180 proton maneuver.
Yeah. I know. It was good. It really was a what if. That's a good point. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a quick look at each one of these episodes. The Lost Boy is the first one that came up. And what I liked about that is it basically was telling the story of Ben Solo becoming Kylo Ren in a roundabout way.
Right.
And as you mentioned, it was a direct take from the 80s movies, The Lost Boys, with Christian Slater. And was it Kiefer Sutherland in that?
Mm-hmm. A younger
Okay.
Phone, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I know nothing about the movie. I never saw it. So not because I never had the opportunity. I just never have seen it.
Yeah.
So the connections are a little dark for me there. I recognize the poster they put out as similar to the Lost Boys and so forth. But it was just a fun story. We have Ben wanting to be getting bored with his Jedi training. And then of course the quote unquote seduction of the Knights of Ren for him to bring him in. And it's got the comedy too with him, with them calling him a Kylo. Don't be a Kylo. In other words, telling him not to be a baby. Don't be a Kylo. Don't be a Kylo. And he just latches onto that, and that becomes who he is. What were your thoughts of this first story, The Lost Boy?
Yeah, well, for me, like we were mentioning, I came up in the 80s, so I'd seen this movie, and it was really, really popular. And I thought it was cool that they got Christian Slater, who's a famous 80s actor, to be the voice for Ren. And perfect choice for that. You gotta have an 80s actor for that. And
whoa, hold on. Wait, Christian Slater was actually the voice of Ren?
Yes.
I did not catch that.
Yes, yeah. And Matthew Wood does Kylo.
That I knew. I knew because he's done it. He's done it before.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I'm always used to him as Roger, the battle droids and Greek. But for him, playing the sulky, Ben Solo, I thought that was fun to hear Matthew. But yes, Christian Slater, 80s actor, boom, they had him. Just again, it made all the right choices in these episodes. And I'll say this: I have read the series by Charles Soule, The Rise of Kylo Ren, and it does give you some context for this tale. But again, you do not have to read that short miniseries put together by Marvel Comics to enjoy what you see in this. You don't. It just gives a little depth, but I really like this. There's another scene, like, I didn't know if, like you were saying, if you could get it. They're hanging underneath a bridge, and that's a scene in the movie. So just a little quick little thing. The other thing I would tell people to do is, there's a ton of Easter eggs in all three of these, and I didn't pick up on all of them, even with 3 views. But I would tell people, go to Dan Brooks' article at StarWars.com, and he lists, I think, 20 of them, 20. And one of them is in this, The Lost Boy, when Ren, again voiced by Christian Slater, has a sword and is scraping it along the ground, a la Freddy Krueger in A Nightmare on Elm Street. So I when I watched it a couple times, I didn't pick up on that. And I'm like, oh, yes. So a lot of Easter eggs in all 3 of these, but I thought I would just mention that. And again, go to Dan Brooks. I just read it, I think, on Friday, a relatively new article, kind of, he didn't put it out until people had a chance to watch this special a few times.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing I highly recommend that article for all the Easter eggs. And I like the fact too that in this episode, in the one scene where the kids are just dancing around Kylo, and they're singing a song that sounds eerily similar to Ring Around the Rosie, we find out in that article that it was Ring Around the Rosie in Huttese.
Yes.
And he puts the Huttese lyrics for it in this article.
Yeah, that's a deep cut. That is.
I love it. It was perfect. Let me try to read these. I don't speak Huttese, but I will try to read Huttese. So, and I love it too. Ring Around the Rosie. If you don't know it, Ring Around the Rosie, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. This is how it goes. And in Huttese, it's really muva di bonki, pichi gula pidonki, scucha, jeje no chi. I now speak Huttese.
Wow. You only hear, folks, on this podcast, do you get that kind of excellent coverage of Huttese.
I may have to end the show in Huttese from now on.
Oh.
Of course, it'll probably just be a verse of Ring Around the Rosie each time, but nobody will know.
No.
Love it. Oh my gosh. Love it. All right. The second story of the 3 we talked about that mentioned earlier was Dueling Monstrosities. This one was great. This one basically had Darth Maul, after he got hacked in half by Obi-Wan, he ends up at oh my gosh, what's the name of the planet?
Oh, are they on
Dathomir? He ends up back on Dathomir, where the Night Sisters put him back together with his spider legs. And then he returns to serve Palpatine. And that's when all the wackiness and craziness ensues, because he also has, the brand new General Grievous.
Right.
So then you have General Grievous and Darth Maul competing for the affections of the Palpatine by going on this secret mission to recover this ancient Sith lightsaber, and hilarity and dad jokes ensue throughout the competition. Absolutely awesome. I love the fact they brought back Sam Witwer to do Maul's voice. That was awesome. What were your thoughts on Dueling Monstrosities?
Oh my gosh. Like you said, for me, I'd mentioned it. Sam Witwer as Maul, Matthew Wood as Grievous. I absolutely love it. I would also say this, that, the Emperor, I love the Emperor and all these Lego specials. Him last year in the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, just, I'm dying. Trevor Duvall, who does the voice, is incredible. And I do understand, I think they did it right. They really let Maul and Grievous be the dueling monstrosities. And it has a bit of the Emperor, particularly when Maul falls and he finally hits, and he says apprentices these days, it's just all the little fun things he says. They're just so good. And I want to just watch a half hour of him doing stuff, but I understand you can't have him dominate every tale. But overall, just really enjoyed these jokes. I was going to let you read them. I put them in the show notes. When I was watching it a second and third time, I'm like, I had to put them in there if Aaron wants to read them.
Of course we'll read them. I love them. They were the perfect dad jokes for the episode. Like when he says, "It appears you're unarmed," or "It looks like you are without a keg to stand on."
Oh, I'm sorry.
Leg to stand
I had
on.
to change it. Yeah.
Leg to stand on. I read that. I'm like, wait, that's not right. He didn't say keg, because we all have leg to stand on. But my personal favorite is when Maul looks at Grievous and says, "Perhaps you need a cough drop,"
as he falls. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
These were just perfect. This was a fabulous story. I had a lot of fun, and I love the fact how it ended too, with Maul arriving back on Coruscant with the Sith lightsaber prize, and he goes to ignite it, and it breaks, and it just snaps off. He's like, "Oh well, it must have been broken already." It was just great. I love it. And Palpatine just kind of pushes him off the ledge. Love it. Perfect. The third one, of course, as I mentioned, was my favorite, the Wookiees Paw. This one, like I said earlier, was more of a what if version for Star Wars. If Luke joined the Empire instead of the Rebellion, he joins the infantry. Then, of course, he uses the Wookiee Paw. He's like, "I want to get out of here." And all of a sudden, "Here, join the Empire." "Okay. All right. I don't want to be a soldier. I want to be a pilot." He still has the Wookiee Paw, and all of a sudden he's a pilot. And then, of course, he becomes the best pilot and flies with Darth Vader and does his famous maneuver, the 180 proton maneuver, during the Battle of Yavin 4. And even though he is a TIE fighter pilot, he becomes the most famous TIE fighter pilot for blowing up the Death Star.
Right. He almost does a Homer "doh" at the end, it sounded
Exactly.
like. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, this one was just perfect. I love this because it was a new hope from a different point of view, a what if point of view, and this was great. We see him as a stormtrooper. We see him as a TIE pilot. We see him as becoming the greatest TIE pilot ever. It's just a lot of fun, and Luke is just probably needs to be at the Tashi station picking up power converters, but instead he's flying wingman for his dad without realizing he's flying wingman for his dad.
Right.
And I love it when he introduces himself to Vader. Vader's like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Luke Skywalker." He's like, "Huh, I knew a Skywalker."
He has a moment.
He has a moment drifting off. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Loved it. What were your thoughts on Wookiee Paw?
Yeah. Very good. They do have a nice little Easter egg when you see above the skies of Tatooine, you see a light cruiser, an Imperial light cruiser. And Dan Brooks mentions that is Moff Gideon's light cruiser. It definitely looks like it. That's what I thought when I saw it. I picked up on James Arnold Taylor as Old Ben instead of Stephen Stanton as Old Ben. But I think they went with James Arnold Taylor because it was Lego, whereas they have Stephen Stanton in that Rebels episode, right? Twin Sons. And so I liked hearing him as that, as Old Ben. And he's Red 5 instead of Luke, right? That was kind of neat. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Leia's flying, and towards the Death Star. That was pretty cool. And so, yes, I enjoyed it. I didn't like it as much as I think the first two, the Dueling Monstrosities and the Lost Boy. But yeah, you're not gonna have to twist my arm to watch the Wookiees Paw. Very, very fun, very well done, very quick. And you even see Vader kiss Luke before a swing across the chasm. So there you go.
That was hilarious too. Yeah. I loved it. Oh my gosh, that was perfect. The other thing I want to mention, like I said, all those are the three stories that they tell, but they're all in context of an overall story that's being told. Where we have Poe Dameron crashing his X-Wing on this planet, where he meets up with Graballa the Hutt, who is building this resort at Vader's castle. He meets a young boy named Dean, who's extremely talented in fixing things. And of course, he cuts a deal with Graballa to get him to fix the X-Wing, and this is when Venier comes in and thinking that he thinks that Poe is the person he needs to get him into this ancient Sith vault, and he uses these stories to push him into further into his plan of getting into the Sith vault. And after the three stories and he gets in the vault, he has everything he needs, Venier does, to become the new Sith Lord, all the power. And he gets this giant robot suit powered by a Sith holocron. And of course, all the reprogrammed battle droids that Graballa was using to quote unquote build his resort become pretty much zombie droids.
That was fun.
Which was great. I loved it. And then, of course, you have Poe and Dean working together to try to stop Vanier from fulfilling his destiny, essentially.
Yeah.
So very good. Great fun in that. And what I really liked about that overlying story is Poe's relationship with Dean, who he just met. And we have Poe basically taking Dean under his wing and trying to encourage him and educate him, and basically telling him, you don't have to be, you can be more than this. You don't have to be his servant, his slave. And it's a lot of fun. And we actually see that changing Dean's life trajectory by the end of the episode. It was a lot of fun. What did you think of the underlying story of the special?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I know we were focusing on the three kind of plays on different movies and TV shows, like the Wookiees Paw looked like Twilight Zone and all that kind of stuff. But I'm glad you brought this up, because I really do like Tony Hale as Benet and this overarching story of him trying to get further and further into Vader's castle to get that Sith holocron and have a powerful suit to then be as powerful as Vader and the Emperor. I like the ending. In our show notes, I said, a sequel, anyone? Benet and NIL-8, Annihilate, Survive, right? The name of the droid that was serving alongside Vinay. NIL-8, Annihilate. So I definitely, come on, talk about leave your options open for another a follow-up to this. I will watch not only this many more times, like you mentioned on Halloween's, but any sequel they make, definitely.
Very good. Very good. I absolutely will too. I'm hoping that because they survive, we will see more. And I hope it also involves Grabala as well. That would just be perfect. His next resort, by the way, will be on Exegol.
Oh, jeez. I can see him running around there next. Yeah.
Yes. In his set of animatronic, I can see it now. His next resort will be on Exegol. And instead of the animatronic Vader, he's going to have a whole bunch of cloned Snokes showing people around.
Oh, jeez. Could you imagine? They're out of the pickle jars. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Final thoughts, David. What were your final thoughts on the Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales?
Oh, this is very, very easy to talk about, to react to. It's just pure fun. I really enjoyed it. Again, there's a lot for people of all different ages. Longtime Star Wars fans like you and me can really pick up on some of the more subtle nods and Easter eggs and stuff like that. And then if you're a kid, like I said, you don't have to read the Kylo Ren comic series by Marvel to enjoy that. You don't have to see the 80s movie, The Lost Boys, to enjoy that. It's just, you'll have fun just watching it. And I feel the same way about all three of the tales, including the overarching tale. And I would say this. I like the holiday special from last year, right? The kind of a Christmassy, Thanksgiving-y kind of holiday special, slightly more than this one, but only slightly. It is close. The more I watch this one, the more I'm enjoying it. I do think here in the next month or two, I got to watch the holiday special again from last year and get that back in my head. But I think I like that one slightly more because of the stuff that the Emperor says in that one, but just slightly, slightly, like it's slightly more than Terrifying Tales. But I love Terrifying Tales. Very good.
Very good. Well, I got to say, for me, I like this one better than the Christmas special. I've enjoyed this one more. I've actually watched this one more than the Christmas the holiday special as well. But this was just so much fun. Lego and Lucasfilm hit it out of the park with this episode, with this special. Like I said, I love all three of them, but Wookiee of the little stories they had inside of it, but Wookiee Paw is still by far my favorite, with the comical twist of the what if story. Like you said, David, I got to echo what you said. I do hope they continue these specials, especially since they left this open where there could be a sequel to it. So hopefully we get to see that at some point. And I got to tell you, if you're sitting out there and you're listening to this and we've just spoiled it for you because you have not watched it, listen to David's dog. He wants you to listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, he wants you to go and watch it. Don't hesitate. Go watch it. Have fun. Don't be a Kylo. Watch it. You will enjoy it, and you will get that reference once you watch it. So enjoy it. I loved it, and I will be watching it again and again and again and again. So very good. Yeah. So what did you think of Terrifying Tales? We would love to hear from you and get your thoughts on it. Of course, you can hit us up on any of our social medias, Instagram and Facebook at SW Reactions, and of course at Twitter at SW Reactions Pod. Or of course, you can always email us, show at StarWarsReactions.com as well. If you want to reach out to David, how would they go about talking to you about Terrifying Tales or about anything else Star Wars related?
Oh, absolutely. 3 places. Of course, Twitter has always stayed the same. That is at David_Modders, Modders. As I've been saying, there is an S at the end. And Instagram, real simple. Just look up my name, David Modders, and you'll find me there. And third place is our email, and mine is david@starwarsreactions.com.
Very good. Very good. And if you want to talk Star Wars with me, you can do that very simply on Twitter at TAHarris121079. Or, of course, you can always email me, aaron@starwarsreactions.com. Perfect. Well, we hope this added to your Halloween day, however you choose to listen to it, whether you're trick-or-treating with your kids while you're listening or just enjoying a nice quiet night passing out candy or whatever it may be. Any big Halloween plans, David?
No, I mean, my kids are trying to figure out what they're going to be. Eli and a buddy are thinking about being Mordecai and Rigby from the regular show. And I think they can pull it off. It'll be kind of fun. And Lena and one of her friends, I'm not quite sure what they're going to do, but it's a fluid situation right now. It'll probably be a last minute kind of thing, but they're kind of getting to the end of it. My kids, at least. How about you?
I have no clue what my kids are going to be. We haven't even discussed it. I know at some point we'll take them out to let them go around and get some candy. We'll go to my in-laws and let them get candy there. And I don't know, we may end up at a fall festival at our church. I don't know. We really haven't even discussed our plans, but we will be doing something and celebrating Halloween our own way. So whatever it is, and whatever we do, I have no clue what we'll be dressed up as. So, well, it just would not be right to do an episode of Star Wars Reactions and end it without a dad joke.
Oh, geez.
I know this is a bonus episode, and I know in our last episode we had a dad joke of the week, but I had to do another dad joke, especially after talking about Maul's dad jokes. And after talking about Maul's dad jokes, I needed a dad joke about Maul.
Oh my, you love it.
I'm having too much fun with this, David.
You love this.
This is the highlight of my week right here, these dad jokes. So I got a question for you, David.
Oh boy.
Are you ready?
I am ready. I am ready tonight.
All right, here we go. This week's dad joke of the week, Halloween special edition. Why didn't Obi-Wan forgive Darth Maul for killing his master?
I don't know. Why didn't Obi-Wan forgive Darth Maul for killing his master?
Because Obi-Wan wasn't willing to let Qui-Gons be bygones.
That is... Wow.
It's one of those jokes I can hear Liam Neeson right now saying, I don't know who you are, but I will find you and I will kill you.
Exactly. With a lightsaber. Yeah.
He won't let Qui-Gons be bygones.
Wow.
With that. Oh my gosh. With that, everybody. David, I've had fun today, man.
Me too.
Thank you so much, my friend. It's a blast as always. Happy Halloween to you. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. Thank you for listening in and for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. We love y'all. Praying for y'all. Be safe. Whatever you're doing this Halloween day, have a safe weekend. Be careful. And remember, this is your place for elegant discussion for a more civilized age.
If you'd like to share your thoughts, you can email us at show@starwarsreactions.com for our show notes and the latest news from the Star Wars universe. Visit our website at www.starwarsreactions.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at SWReactionsPod or on Facebook at Star Wars Reactions. If you enjoy our show, please leave a review on iTunes. This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or by Lucasfilm Limited. It's intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars. All names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and the respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Star Wars Reactions unless otherwise indicated. Star Wars Reactions. Elegant discussion for a more civilized age.